Good morning. Welcome. So we appreciate your participation in BI revolution from automated reports to instant insights. And I'm Andrew Vaitunas. I'm a senior solutions engineer at LANSA. And alongside me, one side or the other side, I've got my co-host, business intelligence expert, Dan Cardno. So we're thrilled to have you here at today's BI Revolution from Automated Reports to Instant Insights webinar. And now let's get ready to see how automated reporting can impact your business. We encourage you to submit your questions that you might have during the session in the question box. And we'll get to as many of those questions at the end of the webinar as we can. So let's start. So first thing is, what are we doing today? So what's our agenda today? There's a few things we want to do is discuss a little bit about why report scheduling matters. And then we're going to move into a little bit about some of the advantages, some of the things that LANSA BI has in comparison to DB2 Web Query. So what are some of the differences there? So you kind of have an idea what to expect. Automating report distribution, what are the different ways that we can distribute reports, whether it's automatically via schedule or whether it's an on-demand type of report. How do we automate that type of distribution? LANSA BI beyond automating reports. So there's a few other subjects, a few other advantages to using LANSA BI that that we want to highlight here today also. And then at the end of the presentation, after Dan Cardno has gone through and shown us a nice demo of those features of the product itself, we'll go into a Q&A session where we'll address those questions that you've brought up during the webinar. And of course, as always, we'll end with letting you know how you can get more information from us. So first topic then, why does report scheduling matter? All right. So, well, why does it matter? Well, one thing is that we want to make sure that that there is some sort of automation to getting the right reports on your desktop or on your phone maybe or something, getting all those at the right time with the right information, right? And LANSA BI does have a series of ways of making sure that we get that information to you at the right time also, right? Dan, I think that in all the years that you've been working with business intelligence, there's some, probably maybe a comment or two you might have on just why report scheduling or getting those things to the right people at the right time might matter.
Right, yeah, and first of all, hi everyone. I guess one of the sort of main drivers there is, as we've listed on the screen here, it's to make sure that decisions can be made quickly. So, whether it be sales drop in or sort of stockpiling up, as we'll sort of talk about during the demonstration, having that information in sort of real time and delivered to the right people helps to make better data-driven business decisions. So that's one of the sort of key reasons and one of the sort of main areas that we'll be focusing on during the presentation. Cool.
So, so some of the benefits of automated reporting is, well, a little bit as Dan had mentioned, just sort of getting those reports off to the right people at the right time. So the time efficiency of being able to make good decisions using the best information available. The set it and forget it is pretty good too, because you can just say, hey, I want to get this report every Monday morning, or I want to send the management a particular report every Monday morning or every Thursday afternoon or something like that. So they can be prepared for all the meetings they have to do, all the decisions they have to do, and all the challenges that the business throws at them during a week. Also, is the ability just to sort of say, hey, you know what, we're not just going to print off a report somewhere and maybe email it to an individual, but just making sure that we're getting all the right people involved, because sometimes you guys probably have that experience yourselves where you will you will find out about a business decision and go, but what about all this other information, right, that I've got that maybe we should have done something a little bit differently? Well, had all the right people gotten the right reports at the right time, they might have made a slightly different decision, leading to better profits. And then there's data consistency also, just making sure that we're all dealing with the same data when we're talking about the reports that are being distributed, rather than me requesting data right now and then discussing that situation with someone who requested that data a day later, maybe changing the way that we look at that information. So just getting that consistency, and that's just one example, but just getting that consistency across the audience, making sure we're all talking about the same thing. So a sample scenario then, right? So there's let's just say that there are account managers that pull data from from different sources, downloading into an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. They're creating custom reports to for everyone. Of course, they're duplicating these reports everywhere also, right? And sending them various different ways to different people. And maybe it is just that they're sending raw data to a lot of people, and raw data, of course, can be interpreted in as many ways as there are people looking at it, right? And then clients have to wait for updates instead of just getting updates to that report, rather than getting up-to-date data online, as it occurs, and getting the right data at the right time again. So what is a solution, right? So a solution is some sort of BI automation, right? And LANSA BI then will grab the data at the scheduled time or at the time that the person is requesting it, grab that data from whatever source is appropriate for that, for that information, for that report, that graph, whatever it is that they're getting. And then everyone gets that same information, the up-to-date information, whenever they need it, whenever they want it, right? Also, there's given that type of scenario, you also then end up with very consistent style reports, day after day, week after week, month after month. So what do we end up with then, right? So the results there would be things like, well, the time efficiency that we mentioned earlier, right? So account managers, they get more time to handle other tasks, rather than sitting there and analyzing in their Excel spreadsheets or something like that, analyzing the data over and over and over again. The whole set it and forget it that we talked about, right? And so they're getting this without human involvement, without people having to say, you're going to get this report. Now, there's all kinds of different ways of triggering getting that report. To set it and forget it isn't just that, oh, I'm going to get it every Monday morning, but it might also be something like, on certain conditions, I'm going to get that type of report to remind me or to warn me that something's happening. There's a whole category of products that have gone below the reorder level or something like that, right? Again, that inclusive accessibility also, so that people can get all the people that need it, get the information that they need to make their decisions, and then some sort of standardization across the board as to what that report might look like. So again, individuals within your organization are comparing apples to apples. Dan, you might have a couple of things to say just on this scenario here that I might have missed.
No, I think it was covered quite well, and it's actually, as I say, something that we'll look at. Some of the examples that you gave there are very relevant in what we're going to look at in the actual product itself. There's going to be an email delivered when the amount of orders seems to be sort of backing up in a warehouse. So yeah, there's some really cool things you can do there in this particular scenario to ensure that that data gets to the right people in that sort of timely and efficient, set it and forget it way. To help people make better business decisions. So absolutely.